Hi, I want to report on a couple of things, but I'm going to try to go on Facebook at the same time. So I'm going on there too. I don't know if my picture will still be available on YouTube, but we'll try it. Just going live on Facebook right now. Hello. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds just to see if anybody's out there. Usually I come on here at 9 o'clock on Sundays when I can. So I'm out here a little early today because I have to wrap it up a little bit early. And I'm also on YouTube as well. So I'm going to call out some people. I have to wear glasses. Hey, Paula and Eric and Jay. How's everybody doing, Jay? Ooh, that looks like my job is a little bit low here. Hey, Amanda. Oh, Patty, you did sneak in that time, Patty. I am actually on YouTube also right now. So I'm going to try this. I don't know how it's going to work because my screen is only on the Facebook screen. So I have no idea. But I want to make a short video. Cindy and Ira, you do sneak in. Happy holidays, everybody. Estella and Mike, hey. You know, I just feel like it's real important to talk about what's happening. And because I was listening to a YouTuber today, this guy that has like 250,000 followers, and he's out there, saying a lot of lies, right? And I don't want to call him out by name. It doesn't really matter. And a lot of people are doing that. Misinfo and disinfo. It's part of the game. Part of the game. Hey, Joe. So what is going on here? I think we do know that there is a war, and it's not Christians and Muslims. Okay, it's not that. I want to explain this a little bit. It's good versus evil, and it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Okay, I just want to break down the churches in Sri Lanka. Okay, I want to break it down for a minute. I read the article. I posted it on my Facebook page. Sri Lanka attacks, 207 killed, 450 wounded, 35 foreigners. Anybody could add that? 207 equals 9. 450 equals 9. 35 equals 9. I'm sorry, 35 equals 8. I'm sorry about that. So what they're doing, and then here's another one. So they also said 6 churches 3 times. So they're saying 666. I'm going to just scroll down here to see what's going on here. Hey, Kathy and Joseph, they're letting us know it's a satanic job. They're letting us know this in the numbers. And I was always good at math. So they're letting us know 207 killed, that's 9. 450 wounded. Okay, first of all, who really did the numbers? Anybody else really know except the mainstream news? They also blocked all of the information from social media. So no one in Sri Lanka could find out what's going on except for the mainstream news. Okay, so they have 2 nines. 207 killed, 407 wounded. They said 6 churches 3 times. What does that mean? 666, the sign of the beast. Now, they also said, this is another interesting thing, because the number 7 is supposed to be the number of God or the good number. So they said there was 7 suspects that were arrested. Okay, and no one knows what the truth is. No one will know the truth because it's going to be a mainstream narrative. That's all it is. Whatever the mainstream tells them, that's what the story is going to be, which is really sad because, we know that mainstream, you can't get the news anymore from the mainstream, right? I don't know about you guys, but I can't. I can't even watch the news on TV. Once in a blue moon, I could watch like maybe a couple of different journalists who I respect. But for the most part, it's all a bunch of crap. It's all lies. They sit there with a report that they're all reading the same report. That's what they do. They all read the same report, and then they just read it. It's not news. Somebody's giving them information, misinformation, and disinformation to read, and they read it to people, and people say they heard the news. Now, that's not the news. That's BS that the mainstream narrative story wants you to know about, because the corporations that are behind the media are paying for you to hear that. So they're also, what I did hear today on YouTube, I found interesting. So this guy that was giving some misinformation and disinformation. Yeah, I know, Mike, right? What he was saying is that they're trying to promote a war, Christians against Muslims, right? They're trying to promote that. I think that anybody with 2 brain cells could see this, that we're not going to fall for it. It's a good versus evil. It's the deep state. We could see that it's so obvious. I mean, that cartoon, My Pet Goat, it was all telling us this story about Notre Dame. It was telling us the story about Notre Dame. This is the satanic deep state. It's not, okay, so now I want to just clear up the Muslim part of it. They're using radicalized Islam. It's not Muslims. They're using radicalized Islams to do their dirty work so that we could get riled up against each other. Not all Muslims are bad. We all know that, right? I'm sure we all know that. But they're using it as an entrance, because certain Muslims will do anything. Just like certain people. Listen, it's not only Muslims or that Islam radicalized are bad. There's people who are gang stalking other people, good people. They're gang stalking good people. And what they're doing is these are Americans hurting other Americans. Do you know about it? It's called gang stalking. It's not even radicalized Muslims. They're getting a paycheck. They're getting paid to hurt their neighbors. Have you heard about this? If you haven't, I recommend doing a little research on gang stalkers, on targeted individuals, and people are getting paid. There's a lawsuit right now in California. They actually busted a gang stalker, and I believe they won the lawsuit. I believe it's very new, because this stuff is so high. It's so secretive. It's like the brown shirts were in Nazi Germany. Such a secret that they don't want it to get out, that to get it into a court is very, very difficult. And I'm pretty sure, let me see if I could read it from my text, that there is a lawsuit in California against a gang stalker. And so that in itself is tremendous. It's gang stalker tried and convicted, and it's on YouTube. And I'll get you more info. So that means that the stuff is coming to light. So that's not an Islamic radicalized person. That's an American citizen that's being paid to hurt his neighbor. Can you believe that? Because it sounds crazy, right? It's happening. And so it's in court. And that person won the case against the gang stalker. So this stuff is now going to be exposed. It'll be exposed. So I want to know what you guys think of that. It's because it's amazing. It's amazing that this stuff is happening in America in this time, and they're trying to pit us against each other, like that it's the Christians against the Muslims, and against the Jews, against this. No, it's evil people who want to have control and power, because control and power in itself is an evil thing, just for the sake of control and power. It's evil. So they're trying to make it look like, okay, let me just break it down this way. How do you get to win, right? How do you get to win anything? Divide and conquer, right? Is that the best way where they've actually learned to win wars? Divide and conquer. Patty, what did you say? When is California going to see the I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, Janet, they're different, but not okay. And I'm going to tell you because I have friends that are Muslims. Not all Muslims are radicalized. Not all of them. Yes, they have Sharia law in a lot of countries. I've actually traveled to Pakistan. So they have a very, very strict way of living, which it was scary when I was in Pakistan. I was very, very afraid as a woman to go out. And I only went out during the day and I wore covered up things and everything else. I didn't cover my head because I felt like I don't want to do that. But that's different than people that are radicalized and wanting to bomb people and blow up churches. Very different. Very, very different. You can't feel sorry. I'm not, Patty. I'm not. It's not that I'm feeling sorry. I'm just making it clear we're not going to fight each other. That's what's going to lose the war if we fight each other. It's a principality that we're against. You know, they said this spiritual war would not be flesh and blood. It would be against principalities. Good versus evil. Good versus evil. That's all it is. Anyone that's hurting other people, that's blowing up stuff, I don't care if whatever they are. I don't care if they're the Christian part doing it or the Muslim part doing it. That's evil. Hurting other people is evil. Sorry. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm against justice because I am for justice. And if justice means whatever that means for justice, that is held in a court of law. And under that court of law, justice prevails. So I'm not going to put my opinion in what I believe in because that's a separate thing. I'm not the judge and the jury. But there are certain, what is it called? God, my mind is slipping with the word I'm using. It's punishment. There's a punishment for doing certain crimes, whether it's murder or treason or whatever the crime is, there's a punishment for that. Now, that's why there's a judge and a jury for that. Anyone that goes in and blows things up, that's not the answer. So, Patty, it's odd to me that we have always had a different religions in the country. Yes, and all of a sudden, all these things are blowing up. France, all the churches are blowing up. So, do you understand what the deep state? Do you understand what they're trying to do? They're trying to make us hate. Don't hate. It's the deep state. They want their power. Now, they're giving us references. They did it in this last, I broke it down in this last attack. They're telling us who it is. They always do. They always do. 6 churches 3 times. Okay? 6, 6, 6. Then they go on to say 207 killed. That's 9. 450 wounded. That's 9. They use a lot of numbers that are 6s and 9s and they reverse them. They're telling us who's doing it. Satanic forces. It's Satan. Satanism. Okay? They're using radical Islam. That's all it is. It's not radicalism. They're using radical Islam. Do you understand? Are people getting what I'm saying or not really? Anybody following what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't want a war. No, I don't want a war. I want to end the deep state. That's it. No war. No war. They want us to have wars. That's the whole point. They want continuous, endless wars. They want us to kill each other. That's what, if they could have it their way, we would be killing each other. So I don't see any more talk in the comments. I don't know if the stream ended. It's very possible. You know how YouTube is. Thomas, the 1% tell the 1%. Well, there's a lot of different fractions here. There's a lot of fractions here. There's a war with the 1% right now. They're at war with each other, and there's a satanic element, and they're also part of different entities. So some people call them Freemasons, or they call them Illuminati, or they call them satanic. They're working together. Sometimes they fight with each other. Sometimes they work together. That is the problem. That's the problem. They're trying to hold on to power, and people are waking up, so they're losing power. Absolutely, Mike. The deep state, it's all about the deep state. So don't fool yourself with your neighbors. Don't fool yourself that if your neighbor is different than you, don't do it. That's what they want. They want us to hate each other. They want us to gang stalk each other. They want us to hurt each other. No, 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 no. Don't do it. That's exactly what they want. And they're actually paying people to do it. And people that are, if anybody's being gang stalked or targeted, you know what I'm talking about. They have a payroll. They're paying people to do this, to start trouble. And this is nothing new to Nazis, by the way. It's another fraction, another element of these people. Nazis did this with brown shirts. They pay them to get stuff started. We need to spread love. Absolutely, Patty. We have to love each other, and we don't accept this evil. We don't accept the evil, that's all. And the evil is the deep state. That's all it is. They're trying to make it look like, oh, these radical Muslims are blowing up all of our churches. They are leaving clues because that's what they do. They leave clues. They're telling us the story in that little pet goat cartoon. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're so sick and they're so evil. And I think that we can see through them. Bloodlines, yes, Thomas, absolutely. There's 13 families and they're targeting certain people that are woke. We know this. So if you are woke and you don't know what's going on, why people don't like you anymore, you're probably being targeted. Probably being targeted. Hey, Joe. And so they don't want woke people because woke people can see through this because they're stupid. This is the problem. The problem is they're really stupid. And the also problem is that they MS-13 Seth Rich. Yes. That's what these are what they're the tools. That's why it's like they're using radical Islam. They're also using MS-13. Okay, they were using ISIS before. They'll use whatever tool they can use to pit us against each other. Okay, don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. And they are trying to get in the southern border with MS-13 and with radicalized Islam. That doesn't mean that you're a racist if you don't want those people to come in. I mean, I love Mexicans. I love Mexico. I have a lot of friends that are Muslim, and none of them are radicalized. So we're talking about select people who are being paid to hurt us. So I think we all need to keep that part clear. Yes, Thomas, absolutely. And that's the part that they can't not do it. There's some kind of karmic backlash that they feel like they have to advertise. They have to let you know what they're doing. And April is the month of death. This is their month. It's the month of resurrection, supposedly in Christianity. It's the month of Passover, where, they passed over your house if you put these symbols are just, not my style. But they pass over your house if you put blood of the lamb over your doorway. So it's all about sacrifice right now. The month of April is the month of sacrifice. These people are satanic, they're evil, and they're sick. Movies from the 60s. Yeah, the vampires. Roseanne Barr did a great video on vampires because she's basically dividing us into two different things. She's saying there's vampires and humans, and vampires are part AI, and they're the people that they're not even real people. They're half AI. They live off of other people. And from what Roseanne Barr said, how do you know the difference? A human can change. A human could say, you know what, I'm sorry, or I changed my opinion or my mind. A vampire is programmed to hurt, programmed to steal, programmed to follow orders. So, vampires are a good word for it. Vampires. So you could fit them all into that category, all of them. Everybody who joined, Nani. So, so there's a lot of disinformation going on YouTube right now. A lot of people, they seem like truthers. They seem like they're on the right track. They'll say a lot of things, and then all of a sudden they'll take you off base. It's very, very difficult. And, these times, we're in a spiritual war right now. It's good versus evil. That's all it is. It's not Muslims versus Christians versus Jews. Not at all. Not at all. It's a spiritual war, good versus evil. And these people on YouTube are going to take you down a certain path and then throw you off a cliff. Be careful of them. They're seductive. They tell you very interesting things. Some of them are really, really good looking. Some of them have big audiences. Some of them are very famous. And they'll tell you a lot of truth. And then they'll throw you right off the cliff. So they'll confuse you. And that is Satan. Satan works in reverse. Satan works with confusion. Okay? Satan will always lie. And Satan will always tell you before they do it. Okay? That's how Satan works. So I'm going to have to end this one a little bit early. I hope you all have a great evening. I might come back on again this week. Love you all. Just love each other. Just love each other and see the truth for what it is. See the truth. Okay? See past what they're trying to show you. They're trying to show you people were, hating each other. That's not what's going on. It's a setup. It's very clearly a setup. And they always leave their symbols. They always leave their 666. They always leave their fingerprint. Okay, be smarter. Be smarter. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Rest of the weekend. Have a great week.